I'm Ron. Welcome everyone to today's meditation practice. Is anyone here for the first time? No? Okay. Welcome back, everybody. We have a few announcements before we start. If you haven't already silenced your cell phones, please do so at this time and put your phones away so you can be fully present for the talk and meditation. If you must use your phone, do so outside the meditation hall. We invite you to join us for our weekly Tuesday events with Medicine Buddha practice at 6 p.m. and our public talk at 7 p.m. Next week, for our Tuesday evening talk, Geshe Phende will speak on the 37 practices of a bodhisattva, part 4. Wednesday evenings at 7 p.m., the Drepung Loseling monks conduct evening prayers for His Holiness the Dalai Lama's long life and other teachers. On Thursday at 4:30 p.m., the Drepung Loseling monks conduct a protector puja for smooth journeys, successive interviews and medical treatments, new businesses, etc. Our popular 5-class foundation series continues this Saturday with shamatha meditation, alleviating stress and cultivating inner balance. This one-day retreat via Zoom explains how to engage in shamatha, the meditation for calming the mind and attaining clarity, focus, and attention, and can be taken independent of the series. This series is a prerequisite for the intermediate series and other retreats. On Wednesday, February 18th at 9 a.m., we celebrate Losar, the Tibetan New Year. The venerable monks will lead a traditional puja with chanting of auspicious prayers and offer traditional Losar servings of sweet rice and tea. As a reminder, please do not park on the grass, along the driveway, or behind the building. If the lot is full, overflow parking can be found via Skyland Drive at the John Lewis Elementary School outside of school operating hours. Only access to school parking via Skyland Drive and walk through to our site. Information on all events can be found in the lobby and on our website at drepung.org. If anyone is interested in volunteer opportunities to get more involved in supporting our center and programs, please see me or our volunteer coordinator, Mr. Duffel, who's sitting in the back. If you are interested in becoming a member to support our ongoing programs and take advantage of benefits like discounts on courses and retreats, applications are available in the library. You can also register online. There is a donation box near the entrance to this room. Your generous support helps us continue to offer programs and services like this to our Atlanta community and to those around the world through our online platforms. Now please stand as we invite our resident teacher, Geshe Phende to come in for this evening's talk.
Okay, now first we are going to recite the mantra of Heart Sutra. Tayata Gati Gati Paragati Parasam Gati Bodhisoha 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 Tayata Gati Gati Paragati Parasam Gati Bodhisoha. Next prayer is for imaginables. May all beings have happiness. May they be free from suffering. May they find the joy that has never known suffering. May they be free from attachments and hatred. May all beings have happiness. May they be free from suffering. May they find the joy that has never known suffering. May they be free from attachments and hatred. May all beings have happiness. May they be free from suffering. May they find the joy that has never known suffering. May they be free from attachments and hatred. Now next is the mandala. So during the reciting this mandala prayer, make sure you kind of out of bodhicitta, right, seeking oneself to achieve enlightenment Buddhahood for sake of entire beings. And therefore, I need to learn the Dharma. I need to practice the Dharma. So that is why I'm taking this class, kind of those intention. Then you offer the mandala. Oi sai shi pi ji choi shi ai me ai to Dhamma ri ai dava li shi Nye de ge pati Sange Shinto Me de Pi Wa Ye Toi Kwe Nama Dai Shin La Che Pa Sho Yidam Guru Ratna Mendala Kamni Ataya Me. So, the text today I'm going to talk, it's called the 37 Practices of Bodhisattva by Kadam Geshe Togme Zangpo. And then it's around the late 13th century and beginning of 14th century, right? That master, which is one of the great practitioner, very scholar, and also a very high, great practitioner. He's the Bodhisattva. So he's teaching this through his own experience. So how he achieved each of these realization, where he start the practice first. So as a practitioner ourselves also, we're learning this teaching to understanding, how should I achieve each of these realization, and finally to achieve enlightenment Buddhahood for sake of all sentient beings. So here today I think we are second stanza, right? So the first stanza we finished last class, so the second stanza started here in Tibetan. Nyingi chola dwecha chutar yo, dai chola shedan metar par, langdor jebe timu minache, payu pombo jese la leyins. Saying, attach to your left once you're straight, stirred or stirred. How you pronounce stirred up like water, right? Hating your enemies, you burn like fire. In the darkness of confusion, you forget what to adopt and discard. Giving up your homeland, this is the practice of Bodhisattva. So, actually, as a practitioner, to success the practice, we need to understanding what kind of obstacle we have to avoid it, what kind of condition we need it in order to becoming good practitioners. So according to this text, they call I think it's called the 7 preliminary practice, right? 7 preliminary exercise or 7 preliminary practice. So the first preliminary practice is precious human life. We finished that one, right? That's first stanza. First stanza, which I mean here is, in this text, the first and second, 2 verses there, that's not counting around the 37 practices. These first 2 verses is just homage and promising to compose this text. Actual stanza started from the third verses, right? You see the number they put it started from the third verse, right? That's the number start. So that's why when I say first stanza, second stanza means the actual one. When you look at it in the text, there's a number there. So the number first, is the kind of the precious human life. I mentioned this teaching last class. Through understanding on that first stanza, mainly what that means you meditate, right? You investigate. Meditation doesn't mean just sit and silent, right? Meditation here mainly is called the contemplate meditation, analytical meditation, to analyzing, thinking, right? So last Tuesday class, talk about this precious human life, how important, right? And how difficult to find this precious life. So what is the precious life you have? So identify or recognizing your own, right, precious human life we call leisure and opportunity, precious life, and understanding how important it is, and then also understanding how difficult to find this life again. Through that meditation that we explained already in last class, through that meditation, what you need to know, what you need to make kind of the decision, right, is to stimulate oneself to utilize this precious life meaningful, right? Wish to use one's own life meaningful. That kind of desire, that kind of wish, you need to cultivate through understanding on three different stages of the precious human life, right? So when you really feel, I'm really going to use this life meaningful, right? Take advantages of this precious human life. That kind of desire. So if you do not have that desire, then the first stanza, you should think again and again till you feel, I'm not going to waste this precious human life. I will going to take full advantages of this precious human life. That you need to, that kind of realization, right? You need to be achieved it. That's the first preliminary practice. Now today, the second here, this second stanza, which talking about give up the place which increase three poisons. Give up the place. When the stanza they say, give up your homeland, right? And you look at that last second line, give up your homeland. What does that mean? Give up your homeland, which means general, the place which you live. It's increase your attachments, it's increasing your anger, it's increasing your ignorance. That's called three poison mind, which are attachments, anger, and ignorance. The place with just environment, it's something creates you. Just live on this place, it creates you too much attachments, too much anger, too much ignorance. Then you have to stay away with this kind of environment, because otherwise this environment will take your life into samsara, mundane life. Mundane life, which means it will destroy your precious human life, which means that precious human life's becoming, it's just going to use for samsara pleasure. It's all about the samsara. Sometimes the place where you live, You know all of those people around there, right? So you're so attached to your families, and there's certain people you have challenged, so you don't like them, you hate them, right? So always, every time when you back to the home, the people you talk about, all about that, right? All about mundane things to increase more attachment, to increase more greeds, more arrogance, to increase more anger, hatred, because as soon as when they're gathering, they're chatting, gossiping. It's all gossiping, which is this family don't like that family. So they gossip about those family, oh no, they done blah, 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 all kind of things. This hearing again and again. Each time when you hear what they're going to do, it brings the thoughts. And each of these thoughts increase anger, hatred, resentment, right? So when you stay here, for instance, these are talking around 13th, 14th century times, right? Now today, it's becoming much worse. Because today, even you just you are away from your homeland. For my situation, right? I'm away from homeland. It's overseas. But sitting there, you have this little phone. And that will bring every information there. Even you're physically very distant. But that doesn't matter. The information there. You can chat, you can gossip, you can do exactly the same things that people when you live with them, right? That's the technologies create these kind of things. Then you're always chatting, gossiping with them, and the result of that, after what you got it, either you become too much angry to those people, either you become too much hate, too much resentment, or either you become too much attached, for these people, for that people. So end of the conversation, after finish it, when you got it, I got too much attachment, too much greed, too much anger. So those environment, you have to stay away, right? So here, give up your homeland. It's not only during that time, give up your homeland, which means the place where you grew up. So you come out, you live with the strangers, so you have nothing that much gossiping, no problem. Because you are not gossiping them, you don't know what's going on. You just sit quietly, you do your own practice, less distraction, right? That time. Today, this, give up your homeland, which what that means? That means the environment which creates you attachment, anger, ignorance. Those environment, you try to stay away with them. Because these are the poison environment. Why it's called poison environment? Because this environment increase you, poison minds, anger, attachment, and ignorance, which are the fundamental causes of our sufferings, right? Practicing dharma, what that means? Practicing dharma, which means we practice to how to overcome each of these poison minds, right? Mental afflictions. Because these mental afflictions are the causes of suffering, right? Where Buddha first, when he teach us, he talk about Four Noble Truths, that's the subject. So when he talk about the truth of origin of suffering, means truth of causes of suffering, he introduced your mental afflictions, right? Your negative karmas. So only the way to overcome suffering is you have to overcome your mental affliction. So all the Buddhist practice, Buddha Dharma, is for sake of overcome your mental affliction, right? Afflictive cognitive obscurations. That we need to know. So understanding Buddha Dharma means you understanding how to overcome your destructive emotion. So when you know that, then you're understanding the Buddha Dharma. If you do not know them, you don't know Buddha Dharma. If you do not know Dharma, then how can you overcome your mental affliction? You do not know. Because you have to overcome your mental affliction, but you do not know how to do it. That means your mental affliction is no chance to overcome. That's why studying Buddha Dharma means we're studying how to overcome these mental afflictions. Practicing Buddha Dharma means we are practicing to reduce our mental affliction. Practice to reduce, to antidoting our mental affliction. Therefore, when you do that, the place where you live, if it's increasing too much mental affliction, then you never ever become successful. It is talking about for the beginner practitioners. People who are, being perfect on these practice, you can live wherever. Specific when these people, when they have more negative, people there, your practice become much better. So people who are reach high level of practitioners, they want to stay with the troublemakers because that helps them to grow their patience, their realization. But the beginner, we have to stay away with this because we are not strong enough to fight to those environment. We are very fragile. Now we are very weak. That's why he taught us this second stanza, attached to your loved ones, you are stirred up like water. So when you are so attached as a householder, we have what you call genetically, right? We have attached to our family members, right? So it's by birth. Maybe it's chemical reaction or whatever. I'm not sure. Maybe today new scientists maybe have more explanation, those chemical or whatever, creating this attachment to our own families. From the one side, it is important. In order to survive, you need these things, right? But for the practitioners, attachment is the one who creating many our problems. Specific, as a Buddhist perspective, we're talking about the samsara, right? Which is one of the what you call suffering realms. Samsara, it means suffering of cyclical existence, which we are circling in that samsara. It's the unpure realms, the realm of suffering. So as ordinary people, we circle in samsara by whom? Why we are circled there? As somebody punished us, or somebody sent us to the samsara, or why? If that's the case, why they send us to the samsara, right? If there's somebody there who have power to send us to the samsara, definitely they have a power to take out from the samsara. If they have power to put it into the samsara, that means they have also same power to take out, right? Then they will. Why they are not taking out us? They have compassion to love to every beings. As a mother, when she has power to take out their children from that suffering, of course mother voluntarily, without asking, she will take it out because she has love to their children, right? If somebody there who has a power to take out, of course they will going to do it because that's a love. But it is not. Nobody throw us into samsara, right? It's our individual our mind. So which mind we put it into samsara? Attachment. That's how we should understanding. Attachment are the one. Like for instance, each individual, you have your own environment, right? You have your own family, you just doing things with this circle of your own circle. Everybody have their own circle. And they're circling in that circle, talking, chatting, doing that. Why you are in this circle? Why you're not in that circle? Is somebody put you there? It is not. Why? Your attachments, right? You're attached to that person. Then you decide to share your life with him or her. Then you share. After you share, then all these children and all this comes. Slowly, that circle comes there. So that circle comes, and you circling in there, seed is your attachment there. Right? That's quite clear. Right? Why you are in this family. Why you ended up in this kind of job. Why you ended up in this. The deeper level, you have attached to these things. So attachment are the one take you in these kind of realms. Similarly, samsara, which we're talking about, so who pull us or tied us into samsara? Our attachment. And that's first we should understand. So here, attached to your loved, once you are stirred by like water. So attachment is just one after one. It moves you. You have no choice, right? Like a big strong river just pull you into that. So attachment are the one takes your life in that kind of life. When you're stuck into there, very difficult to come out. It's very difficult, right? Like a spider webs. The little fly, as soon as when they're stuck into that webs, very difficult to come out from that webs. That because of the power of that spider webs, like attachment. Very difficult to give up, right? Have to stay there, have to do with this. So then we have constantly worries, fear, anxiety, stress, constantly one after one. Because attachment is not just one. It's like a river constantly coming. So that's why it's called stirred up like water. It's stirred. It's one after one. Constantly pull us into that miserable life by one's own attachments. Right? So that's how we should think. We should learn from the Buddha. He gave up all of these luxury lives he has, right? He lived with that kind of fancy luxury life. He gave up all of these things and go to the jungle, forest, nothing, right? It's completely changed from very luxury life to the very poor, like wild animals, nothing, anything. So what is that showing? It teaching us, it's not it's teaching us. So struggle with this kind of environment, samsara, is by your attachments. So you have to reduce this attachment. If you don't reduce them, doesn't matter whatever prayers you're doing, even you see Buddha there, doesn't matter. You will still circle in samsara because Buddha is nothing to do with this. Your attachment are the one putting you there. So if you don't cut these attachments, then you can get that same problem, right? From the Buddhist perspective, we be in samsara, it's called from beginningless time. Like how many lives? Countless. We've been that same things. So same things we're doing again, then fall down. Sometimes a little bit better, human life, sometimes animals, all kind of, but the same things, circle. So all of this holding there, it's because of those attachments. So therefore, we need to stay away with this attachment. So as of right now, we don't have enough power to cut the attachment directly, right? So therefore, first we try to little bit stay away with this environment, external environment who causes us attachment. So stay away with this environment. Like for instance, if you have a people, like a, what you call your circle, your friends, who always wants to go to the movie or the party or this alcohol place, this bar, those places. So if you always have what you call the WhatsApp group with them, then they say, oh, blah, 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 tomorrow we have time. Can we go to this bar? Can we go to this party? Can you go to this? Right? Then, oh yeah, I have time. I don't need to. Yes, then you go. Right? 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, you spend the money. And, I saw one of the joke. Those bar, you have to dance and you have to pay. Right? In the other place, you go there to watch people dance and you watch, you pay. But those bar, you have to dance and sweating, all kind. Then you have to pay for that. Then after that finish, then headache, then you become your little bit crazy, mental crazy, right? Then all kind of things, you completely destroy her. You go with a very intelligent person, you're coming back with completely change. This person have no shame, no anything. It's completely changed person. So they're still going that. And that because of your friends, environment, destroying you 1 time, 2 times, 3 times. Then eventually it's become addicted. So every maybe Friday or Saturday, whenever, I have to go there now. Without going there, you feel like they're missing something, right? Or I'm something missing. That kind of addictions. So what is these things are means? Actually, it's ruining your human intelligence. It's ruining there. General, as a Buddhist, we try to avoiding mainly the 5 things. Not killing, not stealing, not sexual misconduct, and not lying, right? That's the general. Upon there, alcohol, these things. Because point is, alcohol or any chemicals, makes your crazy mind. So because these are what they're doing is destroying your mental function, which is precious human life. What's that mean? Mainly human intelligence. That's so powerful. That human intelligence has potential to overcome all your mental affliction. Who will destroy this? This alcohol, those drugs, these chemical destroying that. It's a very danger, because this is the one of the best equipment who can cut all your sufferings. But that equipment you're destroying, right? Those chemical. That's why to try to avoiding these things. But your friends, the environment will take you there. That's the environment. It's very important. If you have dharma environment, you stay with the dharma. That's why we take refuge to the sangha, right? Take refuge to the sangha means as a beginner. Environment is very important. Environment is the one who change. When you are not stable practitioner, you always try to stay with a good practitioner. They always influence you to practice. If you stay with the bad people, right? People who influence you become negative, you ended up with that. And you lost You get this precious human life, but you didn't use it. You miss this precious human life. So therefore, stay away with this attached to these, you're loved. Here, you're loved, mainly the people who influence you, more negative side. Negative doesn't mean become angry, become smokers or something. Not only that, here negative also means people becoming more greed on materials, right? More greedy on the material, more arrogance, only thinking about the materials. So if you make friends with them, your brain will change. Always, I want to be this, I want to have that. So all your energy, you put it for sake of money, power, material. You're thinking purpose of human life is just for material, to become rich, to become powerful. Right? That's that kind of environment. When you have that chat group, then they're always chatting that. Oh, today there's a blah, blah, blah. Today this is something business. This, the money, this, that. Then your mind is always in there. So mind is always there means mind is always in some kind of greed, attachment, right? Always in that kind of environment. So living with that kind of environment, result is growing more attachment, more greed, more arrogant. And this attachment, this greed, what they're going to do, it's put you more into samsara now. You put your spider waves much stronger, much tighter. That's how you stay in the samsara. So therefore, first, even I cannot antidote to my attachment directly, but I stay away. I avoiding that environment, at least that possible, that you can do it, right? Stay away with this environment. So at least it can less influence me for my mundane things. So therefore, first, the line is talking about the people who creates you too much attachments. Second, hating your enemies, you burn like fire. So then the people you're always hearing, seeing those, you feel so much angry, so much hatred. So you're thinking this again and again. What are you going to do? It's anger, burns you. Burning, what they're going to burn? They burn your inner peace. They burn, it is like a fire. It burns your pleasure, joy, happiness, mental peace. Upon there, it burns all your merits, all your virtues. Right? The Shantideva says in patient chapter, the guide of Bodhisattva way of life. Right? One moment of anger can destroy eons of life of your virtues and merits. Right? So what they're going to burn? They burn all of this, your good qualities. That anger comes from where? If you, the people, you don't like them, you associate with them, you thinking about those people, you hearing about those people, result, it burns you. So stay away with these things. Ignore these things, right? Don't communicate with this. Don't talk about these things. It makes you more angry, more hatreds. So that feeds your anger and hatreds. So then next, in the darkness of confusion, you forget what to adopt and discard, giving up your homeland. Because of those reasons, giving up your homeland means giving up the place which increase your three poison mind, right? Giving up those. So so any circle you have, this environment, if you increase too much attachment, too much anger, too much ignorance, then you have to stay away with this. If you stay with these people, what they're going to do? It pulls you. Even you go up there for the liberation, dharma, but these are the people pull you down. Come here, fun, enjoy it. And fun is fun, it's just for temporary. They actually you put it into the suffering of oceans, right? Very difficult to come up, back to there. So that's why he's saying, give up your homeland. It's not only homeland means the place where you grow up, the place you're born. Not only that. This is we're talking about during the 13th centuries. Today it's completely environmentally changed. So here homeland means the place which increase your three poison minds. Place which is disturb your practice, the dharma, right? Who pulls you into samsara. Those environment is called the homeland. Give up this, stay away with them. Means not involved. To avoid this kind of environment helps your practice becoming more successful, future, become more effective. If you live with this environment, your practice always be obstructed, right? So that's the second preliminary practice, which is the second preliminary practice is, avoiding or giving up the place which increase three poison mind, right? So each of you know your own circle. So which circle influence you to grow more three poison mind? Which circle helps you, right, to reduce your three poison mind? Those circles you should choose. You should stay with them, close with them. The circle which is increasing more three poison mind, yourself try to avoid it, try to stay away with them. Otherwise it's bad influence. As a parents, when your child grow up as a teenager, then one of the main concern is to always checking which kind of friend, right? Your children go with which friend? Is the bad friends, if he or she goes, he or she will become bad person. Like if he or she grow up with a person which like to smoke every day, then eventually that your children become smokers, right? That's why the parents always concern their friends. Try to explain, go with a good friend, stay away with this friend, that friend. It not looks like good. So why? Because it's influenced very easily. Because they are not stable, right? The teenagers, they're just learning their life. They have no experience. So it's very innocent. It's small things easily goes that way. In the front of you, oh, you are beautiful, you are blah, blah, blah. They like it, right? So when you're dating, the people, first I don't know that dating or these things. I learned one of my students. It's a very interesting story. She telling me, oh, Geshe, today I'm dating that. Then after a few days, she's dating with some other. I was like, oh my God, why are you dating so many people? Just go with the one and stay with that. Why are you doing that? She said, oh, I was thinking dating means you stay with them or, all your life or something, but it's not. She said, they're checking to you. So it's this person is right person or wrong person or something, right? So similarly, you're checking the peoples because the person who are less experienced, then when they're dating, the other person say, oh, you are beautiful, just in front of you, say something beautiful thing, they think, oh, that's good friend. Then they make relationship. They're big problems, right? After there are big problems, because lack of experience. The people who grow up with that many problems know whatever they say in front of you, they not listen. They're looking different way because they have more experience, right? So when you experience external things less affected, not that much change you. Lack of experience when you are new, then small things can easily ruins your life, change you. So that's why the teenagers just new. They have no experience. That's why the parents so much concern. So the parents and the children main problem started during the teenagers, right? Because of this little guy wants to fly, because there already a few wings there, it's growing, but no experience. The parents have lots of experience. They're concerned, so they're jumping too much. So they will fall down. That way concerned, lots of disagree each other. That's why they're fighting. Started that. So what does that really means? Means when the persons are new and lack of experience, external environment can easily ruin their life, change. Because they are very innocent. They do not know that much, not strong. Similarly, as a Dharma practitioners, as a become serious practitioner, first beginner, your life is easily to ruin. Because you have attachment, you have anger, all kind of things. Mundane things can easily pull you down there. You find somebody, looks like nice, beautiful, handsome, say, oh, we have party. Give you some foods and enjoy it, blah, blah, blah. Slowly, 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 it's pulling you, right? Where they pulling you? They're pulling you into the mundane. Samsara means mental afflictions. More greed, more attachments, more jealousy, more all the negative thoughts. As soon as when they gather together, they talk all about that. It's talking whatever the gossiping, it's all about mundane things. Attachment, anger. This side, attachment, protect. And that side's anger, fight them. So your mind is completely populated with these two poison. So that is why stay away, keep up your homeland, means keep up those environment. That's the beginner practitioner. Your day-to-day life, stay closer to the Dharma. Future, you become very good practitioner, very successful. Good practitioner, what that mean? That means your mind's becoming less distraction, becoming more what you call love, compassion, patience, all the good quality, the inner good qualities, right, can increase. All the negative, inner negative qualities are reducing, changing from bottom level. Very stable changing, right? That's called great practitioners. That's not easy. So to get there, first, preliminary, stay away with the place which increase your three poison minds, right? So that's why this stanza, the stanza 2. And in the darkness of confusion, you forget what to adopt and discard. So darkness, which means ignorance which do not know which things you need to be adopt, which things you have to prevent, you have to stop. You do not know that. We adopt samsara things. We're preventing all the high realization, important practice, right? We are not put that much effort to cultivate compassion, love, wisdom, renunciation, all of this. What we adopting? Too much attachment, too much anger, too much jealousy. These are the one we always utilizing, we always adopting. That's called ignorance. Who do not know what you adopting is actually increasing suffering. What you stopping, what you avoiding, actually it's decreasing your happiness. You do not know these things. That's why called ignorance. So these are come from anger and attachments. So this ignorance, majority people will live with this ignorance. That's why we are suckle in samsara, right? People give you here $1 million, give you here bodhicitta, where somebody asks you, choose what you want, they choose $1 million. If they choose compassion, bodhicitta, they think you are stupid, right? They really think you are stupid because they do not know how much this compassion, love, bodhicitta gives you happiness. The happiness, the peace which is from the deeper level. They do not know these things. That's why they put all the effort for the money side, not on this high realization. Right? That's why we're not practicing. We're not using our precious human life to generate love, compassion, wisdom, bodhicitta. We're not that much put effort there. We put more effort to the material. Imagine morning you wake up till you go to the bed. What you using your human life? You just look it. Right? What you're doing this. All of this precious human life, most of us we use just for material happiness. Money, all this. So we go to work for money, everything. So how much you use this precious life to adopt bodhicitta, right? Compassion, love. Very little, very little. That's called ignorance. Because we don't know. If you really know that from deep of your heart, sometimes even the dream time, you may feel like, I really want to cultivate bodhicitta, meditate bodhicitta, something like that. So these dreams maybe, some of you maybe never dreamed it that. We always have dreamed, to driving car, eating food, make money, blah, 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 all kind of thing. It's nothing these kind of things. That's showing deep of our heart. We still do not know that. So that's called ignorance. These poison mind put us into the unfortunate realm, samsara, right? That's why all of this, why the environment. Living in this kind of environment today, right? Our environment, you can look at, it's all about materialistic environment. We grow up with that. Oh, I have to have this, I have to have this, I have to have that, this. Why you have to this? That's the environment influence you, right? So first when you're born, you have no idea all of these things. So having this, having that, that's the environment. We think. That's we believed. If you have certain house, if you have certain type of the dress you wear, certain type of the job, certain type of the money, you think that's the happiness. If you don't have that, that means you are the loser. That environment, you grow up. Then you're thinking, yes, I have to do that. These people are doing that, those people are doing that, now we have to do that. So we put all this, that's called, the homeland, the environment who increase you more ignorance, who increase you more anger, who increase you more attachment. Those environment, you need to stay away. If you do stay away with that, future when you practice, your practice become more successful, less obstacles. Otherwise, you practice few years, very good. After a few years, disappeared. You cannot do practice. Because of your environment, slowly you pull you into that kind of environment. You do not know that. Then when you're realizing after 5, 10, 20 years, sometimes it's too late now. It's too late. So same if you practice 20 years before, exactly same like 20 years after you do it, you may be quite good realization. You have not worried about your next life. You reach certain level. Now nothing there, all the way, same like others, because of those environment, right? You pull it down there. So therefore, as a beginner, it is very important to stay away with the place, the environment which is increase your 3 poison mind, which obstruct your dharma practice. Then the next stanza, stanza 3, which is called, or maybe I stop here. It's 8 o'clock. So today I will leave going to hear question answer sections. So last few days I have, no time. It's kind of the times go very fast. So we have a few minutes. If you have any questions, just go ahead.
Thank you, Geshe. I have two quick questions. The first question is, if the 37 practices of bodhisattvas, would that constitute or be considered a Lojong text, or is it something different? And then my second question is, in the last Tuesday teaching that you did, that you gave, you quoted Chandrakirti's in the beginning of Entering the Middle Way, how Shravakas and Pradika Buddhas are born from Buddhas, and Buddhas are born from bodhisattvas, and bodhisattvas born from bodhicitta and compassion. I wanted to understand, it makes sense to me that, that, for example, bodhisattvas, in order to become a Buddha, you have to be a bodhisattva first. But I'm wondering, how are Shravakas and Pradika Buddhas, how do they come from Buddhas?
So the first question you're asking are these 37 practices of Bodhisattva. They are the Lojong practice. Lojong means mind training. Right? It's a Tibetan word. Lojong is a mind training. Yes, this is part of the Lojong mind training practice. There are 8 verses of mind training, 7 points of mind training, and 37 practices of Bodhisattva. There are 100 points of. There are many. So this is one part of the text which is part of the mind training of Lojong. The second answer, the question was, of course, Patika and Sarvakayanas, their realization, everything from the Buddha, which means they first learn hearing from the Buddha, all the instruction, how to overcome their mental afflictions, right? All this instruction they receive from Buddha. So then after they hearing those instruction, then they practice, then finally to become to achieve that realization, liberation. So without having teacher, Buddha, they were not going to be achieve any of those realization. That is why it is saying, Sarvaka and Patika practitioners also, born from the Buddha, means Buddha taught them, teach them. Through that, they achieve those realization through the practice. So that's why it's called they are also born from the Buddha. Any questions? Go ahead. So any disagree or anything, you can just, don't worry. You are fully disagree, say I'm not agree, that not make sense. Then we can debate, right? Yes.
Thank you, Geshe, for taking my question. Before you were talking about attachment and how it develops and how we sort of get stuck on the attachment, and it just seems to me like craving is like gravity, where we create the craving and then we're attracted to the thing that we've created, and we start kind of revolving like the planet Earth is revolving around the sun, but it's like we create the sun, which then attracts us. And then we're stuck onto this thing that we've manufactured, just like this is our life. And these are the cravings that we did, like the craving actually has gravity. And that gravity is what controls our life. So getting rid of this thing becomes painful because this is what our whole life is based on. But that's what we have to do to become enlightened, is to get rid of this lump of gravity or craving. Is that correct?
Yes. Kind of craving, also if you go more detail, according to the Buddhist psychology, all of this craving, attachment, greeds creates by mind of self-grasping. It's called the mind of self-grasping. In the reality, the things what we see, what we see doesn't mean it exists that way. In the reality, they not exist independently, solid, absolutely there. But it appears to us something solid, absolute. So that's called mind of self-grasping, who project it. Every object is like a solid, absolute there. Like flower, we say flower is there, right? So that kind of solid, absolute is projected by your mind. And that mind is called mind of self-grasping, mind of ego-grasping, right? They create it. Then there is another projection, projectors who project it. It's not just solid there, it's very stable, unchanging, stability. They're called mind of stability grasping, right? Mind of grasping on stable, unchanging. There's another ignorance. Also there's another mind, not only stable, unchanging, it's also attractive. So they project it is make it attractive. So these things, when they make it, then your attachment, attach it. And that's how we circle, Now it's very hard to give up, which means it's very painful to give up, because of your attachment is the one who makes you hard to give up. If you get rid of your attachment, if you don't feel any attached, it's very easy, no problem. Give up doesn't mean, I'm not with this family, I'm stay away with this family. That doesn't mean that. You are still with your families or whatever you're doing there. But instead of attach, you love to them. So love, no attach. So when you remain on that, it's a very different. You give up these mundane things. You have no attach, you have nothing there, but at the same time, relationships, environment is still doing same thing because you love them. So, right? So that's how the painful means the people who are very difficult to give up, which means the attachment is so strong. It's very heavy. So that's how they feel fear. They feel very difficult to give up because the attachment is too strong. But all of this created by your mind. In the reality, there's nothing like that. Like for instance, when you look very beautiful guy or very beautiful lady, right? Say, oh, it's very beautiful, very nice. So you attach. And you feel like, oh, that's great. It's like you're strongly attached to them. But actually, when you really look into her face and all her body, there's nothing beauty, anything. If you really sincerely look at, Buddhists, I mentioned many times, one of our practice called 36 ugliness object, right? So from head to toe, when you look at her, there's everything's scary, right? Inside the blood and nose and skeleton and blood and eyeballs and tongue, teeth, everything's very ugly and scary actually. But somehow we don't see that way. We come to see something, but you look at to try to pinpoint, okay, which is attractive? Is this? Then you go and look it down there, is the blood and everything's there. There's nothing there. So all of these things your mind is projecting. So attachment, mind is the one project these things. So when you change that mind, your projector is changed. When your projector is changed, everything's changed there. So that projector, the mind, to change is not easy because the external things cannot do anything for that. Mind is invisible things. So only the ways you have to think logic, you have to think something different way. It's called analytical meditation. You try to look from different aspect. You try to understanding the real. What is the truth? What is the reality? So when you know when you're much closer to the reality, then you can see, oh, this mind is just projected. It's not true that. It's not true that. That's how understanding the reality of the phenomena helps to change all this wrong projector. And the Buddhists we call mental afflictions. These wrong projector, mental affliction, your attachment, anger, these are the ones who projected something. And that's why we ended up into samsara. They project samsara is beautiful, nice, or something. That's how they project it. And that's how we circle in there. hold it, we stay with that, that's how we circle, right? So not only human being, you look into the little worms who are living in the mud, right? That's muddy, ugly muddy is there. But for that worm, this is very beautiful, right? That's how they want to live there. That's how they enjoy it. But the human being, when we look at this is completely disastrous, ugly, right? This muddy place, right? Same time, what you call the dung beetle, right? Dung beetle, the cow dung for them is the nice, beautiful place. They like to stay. That's how their mind projected, beautiful. That's why they live there. But the human beings, oh, this is dung, this is cow dungs. Smell, everything we see completely different. So attachment is like that. Similarly, as a human being, we say, oh, beautiful house, this, beautiful this, that. We think, oh, that's very beautiful, that we see. But the people who renounce the samsara, who liberate from the samsara, they're seeing these rims are full of suffering, right? That's seeing that. So therefore, our minds are the one who are projecting. Because we're not understanding, we are not able to see the true reality, that's why we attach. So it's very give up these things, very difficult. So when you look at the Buddha, he have these luxury lives, right? When he give up this luxury life, majority of people may think Buddha is something wrong. He may be stupid or he have some mental problem or something. They think that way. But in that kind of realization, when you look at this is exactly the same like a cow dung, right? We are staying like a cow dung, But the beetle don't see that way. For the beetle, this is the beautiful place. Like ordinary people, this samsara is we seeing like beautiful. But we have lots of suffering, pain, suffering constantly there, never ended. So therefore, knowing more helps your understanding. So therefore, if you stay with the people who knows about that, who give you this kind of information, it helps your minds go towards that way. But the people who lives with the samsara, wrong person, always impress these samsara things, then your practice becoming more difficult, right? More difficult to stay away with this environment, which means like that, because of our own thinking, oh, this is the great, but actually around this, everything's a mistaken consciousness. So therefore, stay with the right people. Always to stay away with the wrong people is for the beginner very, very important. Okay. Thank you. Right? So now we're going to end it up here. Conclusion. Going to recite the Om Mani Padme Hum, the mantra. Right? So the important part is, we just going only one stanza this week, right? That one stanza, not just, oh, now we finished, now finished. Not that way. This one stanza, when you go back to the home, you really think about that. And think about this, meditate, analyzing. And through that, you should look yourself. What kind of environment I'm living with this? What kind of things are influencing and influence me? So through that, you should build it up. I really need to stay away with this environment. That's how you're changing. So meditate on one stanza, this 1 week. You meditate, you change that. So each time when you're changing, and the next actual practice when they started, becoming much easier, right? These 7 preliminary. First, precious human life. We finished that, right? Today, stay away with the place which increase your 3 poison mind. We influence you too much 3 poison minds. Stay away with this. So this practice you've done is not just read it. From your heart, you feel like, I really need to stay away. Sometimes, we are listening the things news or something, then become so much angry, right? Then that anger, next day again you listen, then again angry. So that kind of layers of anger. Eventually that person becomes so negative, kind of like that way. So these kind of, if you are not strong enough to combat this emotion, then stay away with this environment. Future, when you become a little bit stronger, then no problem. If things you hear something you're done, you can convert it into different way. For instance, the person when supposed to makes you angry, for you convert it. This person becoming causes or the object of your patience, my tolerance. You can convert this. That level of practice, when you reach it, then external things will not that much affect you. You don't need to worry about that. Till that, stay away with these things. That's important. Okay, we recite the Mani mantra. Om Mani Padme Hum. 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 Om Mani Padme. And thus, Honorable Compassionate Gurus, we seek your blessings that all karmic debts, obstacles, and sufferings of Mother beings may without exception ripen upon us right now, and that we may give our happiness and virtues to others, and thereby invest all beings in bliss. And thus, Honorable Compassionate Gurus, we seek your blessings that all karmic debts, obstacles, and sufferings of Mother beings may without exception ripen upon us right now, and that we may give our happiness and virtues to others, and thereby invest all beings in bliss. Oi te nai ji zu lai mai tu ji je mai ju to ve ti tu nge ma li ta Dai lai mi pa dai dai ji de ji shen lai ta wa yi joy ku de ta de ba ji ji lo joy in de ta de emperor chin ji lo chanjo simjo rinpoche ma che pa nam ki chu che ba nyam ba me pa yang kon ne kon to pe war sho. May the precious and sublime Bodhisattva not yet born be born, and that which has been born not decline, but increase forevermore. Okay, so the reciting this Mani mantra, when we meditate in compassion, I think just give you a little kind of the message. When we're doing this mantra reciting, now you're understanding our whole, this world, universe, it's kind of the environment It's all about the mundane things, right? So all sentient beings living in this planet, they are very innocent and do not know the real reality. They grow up with this kind of unfortunate environment. That is why become too much negative, anger, attachment, all this. Out of that, living with this kind of environment, entire beings are suffering now, right? Every beings. So then you wish each and all of them be free from sufferings, right? Then reciting the mantra through understanding the environment is the mistake, wrong, unfortunate environment called samsara. Grow into this kind of environment, of course, all those beings will suffer. So I wish all of them be free from suffering. But that's how you cultivate your compassion. So through understanding that stanza, right, you see something different suffering with other beings. Usually we're suffering this. Right now, through that second stanza, now environment, they grow up. That's the things they always hear. That's the things they always see. That's why living with this environment, why not? People become ended up with these problems, right? So I wish them to be free from this environment, right? That's out of that compassion then, reciting prayer, it's kind of related with what you learn, what you practice. It's make connection with the compassion also. Okay, thank you.